Did Noko tell you anything more about the village, other than red trees everywhere?
Noko's not great with specifics.
We'll just have to think like Gestrels then.
Somehow missed my streak. Missed one day. Lost money because I missed one day.
the bond between sixes, like Red is rock on the ground. That's all there. And then there's like maybe some pillars or anything that's close by to the camera that'll look. Everything beyond it looks like kind of this infinite thread book, but it's not. It's just got one shift. And that's what you're dealing with. Everything else is blue screen. Luckily, you've got focuses right and but most of the environment there's misleading. Starting out with that, it's a very small skater role.
I'm gonna take my time replaying this because once I do, it might be a long time before I return. That's why. I love this game, but I am also more than a gamer. Hopefully, rush hour don't take 24 hours to get
You
through
are such a character. Little guy.
in the real world. But a rush hour 4 movie? Hell yeah.
We've
I
gained
vote for that
some
movie.
levels. Yes, we have. I want to. Okay, here's.
There's something, right? I mean, it's definitely something.
This was kind of whimsical and fun
It's,
until
yeah,
this
there's
whole
something.
bug noises started.
I don't know. There's just something. Am I consuming too much? Side effects. Slight bit of insanity. Dizzy. Embrace the dizzy. I'm sorry, my television is dancing right now. Man, obligations. When is it? And how can you ruin something that's so good? Interesting. Inside me, it's like on something inside me. Someone on me, or something. I'm inside something, someone. On and on. God, I hope I don't get killed, or anybody gets killed. I mean, it is a hell of a discovery, but unfortunately, there's evil people on Earth in the mix, so that's the scary part. Especially recording myself saying I'm slow, and they're not recording themselves. They're pushing cameras away, probably. I get it a little bit because I'm like, Bobby's like, do it, don't, do it, don't. It's like, what's this? Why? Comfortability, ignorance, disturbance. In the end, right? It's better to have cameras 24/7 on everybody on Earth, if you think about it. Even when it creates, it makes me squirm. And this camera on me when I'm going to the bathroom, even. Like, really all. Alright, I gotta mute this. Because.
Okay.
Because, things that should be illegal but are somehow legal, and they'll attack me. So, or this video at least. One more thing, which will probably not be one more thing, but one more thing. Fuck off with owning IP in the end, I think, with not just, I'm saying everybody. The DC thing, the Marvel thing, let people create what they want to create and even go as far to help them, or maybe you should not own DC Studios. No wonder why they're trying to sell it. They're demons, and so it's like, and the same thing with Marvel. They're not trying to sell though, because that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Marvel has an obsessive leadership, like someone who actually wants to truly control Marvel. So, which is mostly a bad thing If you think about it, more than a bad thing than a good thing for creators as a whole. But that want to ever make a Marvel movie will be locked out. But the obsession for puzzles, I get it. I love that idea. But I also love love it more if everyone can make their own damn movies, right? So it's like, or have this, like, what's all this shit that locks people out? Right? I mean, it's shit that's blocking people from telling the stories they want to tell cinematically. I don't see any problem with, where someone should be able to do that unless the set is not safe, right? I mean, it's with safety first, right? And then deliver the story, but not like, restrict people because you have an image that will conflict. You're afraid that someone else's vision will conflict with your vision. That's fucked up. I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't be sorry. I don't know. I'm not gonna let myself be sorry on this one. But that's just in general fucked up. I think everyone should be able to deliver their visions. If they want to be a part of something, bring something to life, they should be able to do it. I have my vision. I know everybody don't always align, and that's okay. On fiction, that's actually, but when people are locking people out of the career, which happens way too much, from having any type of participation in actually creating things. I think in general, the entertainment industry has, at least in some aspects of the video game industry, it adapts on a better narrative, but at the same time, in the movie industry, I think it kind of goes the other way. I think it's restricting, and and so happens in the video game industry too. So Rockstar is a very good example of screwing people over, right? So there's stuff like this that I think, like, as a creator aspect, something just doesn't feel right, fair. And I didn't even develop this stuff, and I can feel something, right? Is it supernatural? Am I feeling like parasocial about if I was the developer and I just got fucked over, So it's in this fictional, non-fictional, but also fictional connection that is not necessarily fictional. Get them scientists thinking, on what the fuck is truly paranormal and supernatural for sure. So, and cracking that telepathic ability one day, tunnel the channels of psychic abilities, the television, but inside the brains that bring things to life, the vision inside. It's sad that it's somehow not allowed to be made. A lot of things, it's and I feel that. I feel like people like to promise the world, but yet verbally, but actually lock people out. That's why it's so hard to trust nice words, in an industry that is really good with words sometimes. And, right, so I don't know, I find it very difficult. I don't know how to fucking do it. I want to. And I know that, and I know how there is a part of me that knows how to do it, right? I mean, in the end, the director in me knows that you don't really need an education to be a director. You need the free will to express yourself and to the comfortability to share your vision without feeling threatened or being threatened. right? So it's not. I don't think it's a lesson. I think it's there. I think, I don't believe in that, but I believe that as a a director, it just comes. It's just in you. It's a part of who you are or who I am, right? So that aspect that will always be there, but at the same time, I'm not the gatekeeper. I'm not the guy sitting the that is deciding who's worthy of coming in or seeking out to establish a stuff. It's who to network with and not get screwed over by it. Even if someone said network, networking skills, but which I have struggled with for sure. But at the same time, it's like, is that really going to help? Because I've reached out with miscommunication, trying to communicate things at times, and still got very little to no time. So, being the sloth or the snail that I have been for many years, right? So that it's like trying to figure everything out. I grew up around a lot of fucked up mindsets and a lot of fucked up things, knowing that it's hard to tell it can be hard to tell when someone's telling the truth and who's not, and because everybody's fucking says this and that, and I'm not around everyone. So, and then I know that I don't know, nowadays, I think I make it more challenging for them to come up with lies, but maybe I make it more easier and I'm just blinding myself and I just don't see it now because they're really, I used to be able to hear them talk behind my back, right? Now I don't even hear them, but, so it's, I don't know, but stuff like that. So, and I try to understand everything. And how first impressions, right? I are sometimes not even the real person, right? So I think it's fascinating. The further you go in, the more you start to learn about the universe, and the universe is not even self. It's, the further you go in, the further you realize that none of us exist, and that all of us exist, and we have to figure out a way to filter in what is immortality and secure those in the good immortalities, and turn the demons mortal, right? Turn all the bad shit mortal, turn all the good stuff immortal. But if you pay attention, we've lived in governments, I'm assuming not just the United States, full of obscurities, so it's, and blind trust. And it explains a lot about why evil has always been there, apparently way before I was born. And, so it's, and seeing all of that in existence and thinking, how terrified it is of cameras, is, an oddity in itself, right? So wondering what that's about. I think in the end, I watched a video, for example, and some people might call it harassing, but where that one guy, was calling out scammers, and then there's some people might call it harassing or manipulation when someone is trying to scam someone, right? But what I also see is the mindsets and what someone is trying to achieve, and maybe what sacrifice. I understood Severus Snape, is what I'm saying, and in a fictional fucking character, but I also understood that in the real world, he would never probably more than likely have ever gotten acknowledged, right? For it, and it's and what makes it more difficult. So it's someone who might play the villain to try, and what I see the good part is the it's uncomfortable, but at the same time it's just a fucking camera. But if it's physically touching you, that's drawing a line, right? But if it's not, I think in the end we're all, and people trying to understand how to live. And I think that even the scammers probably are victims or have demons that are controlling them. But at the end of the day, I do think there's worse. I am more. If I had to do the whole capitalism is better than communism settlement, I would be more concerned about life or death, for people, and that would blind me on fixing and resolving other things, right? So, but at the same time, I would be prioritizing what's a bigger threat. I would, someone going on a subway and not realizing what they're walking into, and then they get killed, and then nobody fucking helps them. Shit like that. It shows you a lot. It makes not just the evil person honest, at the evilest person in the footage honest. It also makes the government, if you think about it, honest, and have to face these things that they can't say is private or try to brush it away with secrecy and all this other shit that ultimately causes more issues. But ain't that the problem? If only one government is honest and another isn't, the leverage of dishonesty sometimes comes in if you can't figure out. So that's why I said it can't just be a government made honest. It has to be the entire world made honest. Or I don't think it would be very difficult to try to achieve. You could say it calls world peace in a government on a timer. If you put utopia in the United States, right, or in any country, and all the rest of the world don't have utopia, right? So it still leaves this blindness. It's an occultness to utopia, right? So it's dishonesty, to create the utopia, that utopia. So the honesty, to not have to be dishonest, right, would have to do the entire world, right? It's difficult to, or you got to be a liar, then you got to do things that you don't like, and become dishonest and to try to help people, and it's fucking toxic. That's a thing that starts to take over, right? So it's that you have to keep secrets and all this other shit for what? Because you're afraid that some other government is going to take advantage of and look for exploits and blind spots. An evil dictator emerges out of a corrupt, disordered government and decides to take their shit over to another right? Country, stuff like that. It's right. So it's, man, it's difficult. The whole island shit, trying to make a deal with the devil, to live. And it's like, and that's, I get it. That's in a way that feels so toxic, but at the same time, it's, why don't I let myself do that? Why, see what I'm saying? And then other people, like, I stood in front of a guy who tried to get me to do prostitution. And it was the most physical money I ever seen in my life. I had never seen I think it was $1,000 bill or some shit. It was like he had like $100,000 he pulled out in cash. Okay, I've never had $10,000 in my life, even all at once. So, $100,000, and asked me to do porn. And I think in my head, of all the futures, all the possibilities, and I'm not even interested to begin with. But I ask, am I supposed to be interested? You see what I'm saying? As well, am I supposed to be interested for this $100,000? Is this the only way I'll get $100,000? And I was like, wait a second, do I even want $100,000? What am I getting $100,000 for? And it'd be like, well, $100,000 would be helpful to get through these gatekeepers. Well, that's like saying something. You're telling me there's a lot of demons out there, a lot of evil people that aren't willing to be pro-life? That you're saying that careers in life are, in a lot of ways, are not what they're advertised to be? See what I'm saying? It just goes down into discovery. I mean, Hollywood has confessed a million different times throughout history that their industry doesn't really have rules, and every time they invent rules, they have a brand new fucking set of rules. It's illegal to smoke weed not yesterday, but in the past, and people doing drugs and the fucking world knowing it because they're advertising for everybody to see, and then one day it becomes legal. What's that about? The freedom to do as you wish to yourself, and the threat of someone enforcing that shit on someone, right? So there's that, it's still, you can't, the shit that you can't see, but that's the same thing for almost anything on Earth. If you think about it, all toxicity could be ripped out of all the museums, out of all the art on Earth, and there could end up being no place for demons. It would become a suffocation ground that demands everyone to become angels. But the thing is, they think they're going to suffocate demons out of existence, but they're only going to create a popping point, because they got no place for those demons, and their mission to get rid of those demons is obviously not a very successful one. Never has been. So, it's Ed and Lorraine putting shit in, keeping things in dolls, thinking, if it's true or whatever, keeping all this stuff, which is possible. I believe some of it, but not all of it. But, so when I look at the containment, what makes Ed and Lorraine different from a dictator over demons? And then it's like Time's Up, or a leadership role in general, or a president of demons, and then Time's Up and they're dead, right? And where's their souls go? Next people come in. Doesn't mean you could create a prison for demons in a present and then that present gets unraveled by the future. So, and then all those demons get unleashed upon the world. So it's stuff like that. It's it's the imperfection that clearly is being done. That's just a way of saying it. That for many, many years, that's why I don't think it's a president thing. I don't believe it is, because it's in the end, right? I mean, I don't, there's gas prices, but it's the people at the end of the day that really end up deciding what those gas prices are, unless you're hive minding all these people. And these people clearly are full of demons to be, raising prices. It's not heaven. It isn't pro heaven. So I'll tell you that, right? When people raise things, but but at the same time, it might be a shape-shifting thing. They're trying to achieve some kind of goal, and alchemy minds many people by using a form of currency. People, $7 as a magical spell that can only, in one set, people know the magic trick. How are you going to make $7 get you to heaven when now it's this leadership role, right? So it's like that's dictating whether you have $7 or not, or $7 or more, or $7 or less. It's just like, you don't have permission. You're fucked. You could be, now you have a multi-billionaire, million. It's like, but you can't figure out, and yet you have all this money, but yet you can't figure out how to make your own movie, like finance your own film, and then it's like, next thing you know, it's like someone's ruining your life, and like you're fucked over because, or it's a fear of failing because you could lose. Especially if you have kids, you could lose your kids because, finance reasons or something, and not knowing how to manage all that. If you, and juggling a career, and then you're stuck there trying to figure that out, it could be even worse for them. But so I think that's if they're a good parent, right? Because bad parents, I question I'm an asshole, but I have been where I have questioned the, baby daddies, baby mamas types, where there's multiple children with different people. It's like, to me, it's like a death sentence. It's like asking to ruin your life because, I don't know. I do find it challenging to figure out how to survive that relationship where it's like they can't figure out how to survive their own relationship. So it's, Wolverine, said it to Deadpool. You couldn't even save a relationship with a fucking stripper, right? But I think that's bad, right? Especially that he loved her, right? But what's also bad, or isn't? I mean, but I would say it's worse if I don't know what's worse, a stripper, marrying or being in a relationship with a stripper, or being in a relationship with someone who has 50 million, or I don't know, has different kids with different fathers, or vice versa. Image-wise or security-wise, they have a higher demand. You better be willing to go through more hell if you take on, one of the paths. So I think it would be much more difficult if you even somehow start to feel warm and cozy to the mother that's having all these children, then, you know, I think like some part of you is gonna regret not going to war with that, and you're gonna settle in that luxurious blanket of deception, warmth, right? And you're gonna wake up and realize that you were just another victim, or of a blindfold, you know, even, you know, right? So, you know, it's what's going on, or maybe how many people are like, what is it, like a cult, people sabotaging that one person? Possible. It's possible that someone had, you know, been, you know, or a shared influence where they only attracted, you know, bad guys and have it on timers, or bad women on timers. So it's possible. What am I attracting? I dread when I look at myself and I say, "Oh man, I made that." You know, that's a very good question. I just look at it as an easy job. But yet, if it's blinding me, you know, and I can't see, and then maybe I'm next second I know I'm getting married to a serial killer or something, and I don't know it, then I end up figuring it out afterwards. And you know, it's right. It's you know, it's you attract a clown to your life, and somehow you get alchemized, right, by the clown, and then you wonder why time's up. Because, well, that relationship, you know, what happened? It's, you know, it's all this mortal. What created it? What made it mortal? I believe if you cannot see, you should question. And sometimes maybe it's better to be alone than to be Elon Musk and populate the earth by impregnating a shitload of women. You know, it's, you know, because you got superpowers to do so. I think, you know, even if you have superpowers to do so, you shouldn't. You know, it's a whole lot of quantity and a whole lot less of quality is what comes if you pay attention. It's anybody who goes out and has kids with many lovers is showing quantity, not quality. Like you see the quantity of them, but then you also see the lack of quality. And you know, you could be dumb from Fast and Furious, look past through all the hell, you know, and then, you know, but you got to be ready, because sometimes you're asking to be blinded to enter what is called, that I believe is called blind love, and that fuzzy, you know, fuzzy you be in the brain starts to turn you, and then you realize all time's up, because that all you were was a fucking potion, a good time, right? To avoid that mortality, you know, it's difficult, because it's almost like I'm sabotaging myself, and that maybe I should just, you know, go the mortality route, have fun and lust, right? But while my life lasts, but at the same time, it's like immortality is the right way to go. It's not the easy way necessarily, but it is, you know, it's easier to fall into lust, to get on that ship if you get the invite of the warmest, you know, even if she's married, right? And you know, hope to God she doesn't tell you, because it makes it harder if you know, right? But it's things like that. But it, you know, but at the same time, you hope she does, so you can actually have more power in denying yourself from having a good time. But right, so it's an interesting battlefield, because I'll tell you that I think acting in general is asking for mortality, even when you're not asking for mortality. I find it hard to believe that marriage is ever going to exist for anybody who ever dares to enter that career. I saw that as a kid, and I feared that as a kid, that knowing the cost of certain things, and apparently I'm not wrong, in a lot of ways. I mean, how most celebrities, if they could switch, they're going to come in, and then their careers are going to become dictated, so, and shaped, what's going on behind the scenes of relationships, who, narrative controls. How many people look like they have the perfect marriage, but they're, because they know how to control the public eye, right? A lot better. But actually might even have a much worse one. See, I think it's ruling at the end of the day, unfortunately, especially if you know director's mindset. The actor is to play the ship, and the director is to steer and mold, that ship, and that gives a lot of power to a director for them to take advantage of the actor. I think every guy. That's why I've discovered. Like, I think a lot of people, especially the schools I went to, would say that's instantly they would use the word gay, right? But it's a manipulation tactic, and it has nothing to do with what gender or sex you are. Is the truth. I mean, every actors probably experiences at some point, or getting close to experiencing it, if they're able to keep their mind and separate themselves from the character. Isn't that the thing? Is that the mindset switches to fiction makes everybody vulnerable, even when they're not aware of it, to blind love, which I think is one of the biggest toxicities somehow ever created on Earth. I question, because it's I don't know, it's right. You don't want someone in your head that's going to sabotage you, or stuff like that. You want someone in your head that's going to, want sacredness, that doesn't just want to love. It's difficult because the lust is such a drawing human mortal thing to be drawn to it, right? Is what I've come to see in a lot of people, and why they go about to do what they do. Why isolation? Why all of that exists is, a format of awareness of vulnerabilities and concern for one's own well-being. So love, and it makes sense. So it's for themselves, love themselves first, and as they should. So, but then others will try to go in that means and alchemize with someone else, right? So it's this trade. But I think as an actor, someone once said that what's the difference between being a prostitute and being an actor, at a emotional level. I'd say the difference is the one that you create. The line that you say you will not transform physically into. You will play pretend, but you will never cross that line. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter because you're playing with sight to begin with. Your occultation of ideas, and if someone doesn't know, it now becomes, it could be a freedom for that person where they could just have multiple weddings, if they wanted to, and start collecting people, shit like that. And then it's like, you could get collected, I've thought about everything at some point in my life. I have thought about everything. So and it's just, it's like a recall, trying to remember at worst, it's the sleep. That is my greatest weakness, is the sleep. It's the fucking slumber, right? So, and by saying that, I'm like sabotaging myself, telling the world, especially in the industry, trying to sell shit. What's your favorite game in the world? People deciding, oh, this person doesn't like this person likes this. Is it opening up to people? Because what is everything in existence? What is it for? What happened where everybody's just fucking, it's money, 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 and, or numbers, a lot of quantity. It could be worse. You could be, under a supreme dictator and completely, right? But it could also be better, where you could actually be free or family, to complete your dreams. Well, but when you're locked out of dreams, if you're me, you have a multiverse in your head and channels and the ability to do more than one thing, but none of it is me. I lose myself to that, right? So, but me is selfishly is to live happily ever after, get married, not ever, and know that my wife is never going to cheat on me, and that she knows I'm never going to, all this stuff. We're going to live happily ever after. We'll still, a boat sounds nice at times, I'm a picture. With or without a boat, our ship would be immortal. With or without kids, our ship would be immortal. I'm not against having kids until an idea, or if I'm aware of things. In the state of the world is the only turn off. That where I would be like, I guess in the end it's ignorance, right? The ignorance of taking on the role of being a parent, in a world that you do know is a imperfect, and not full of all heavenly, good people. There's actors and evil that does exist, unfortunately, right? So it's that certainly can make me not want to have kids. I'll be honest, like that part makes me not want to, but at the same time, it's sad. That's what it is. It's a damn tragedy. Even having, a remarkable child that, and going through that as a parent and trying to figure out how to balance your life and your most important puzzle piece in life, your partner, while having a kid with them or kids with them. and trying to figure that out is a sad part of it. I think there's something tragic about it. Even the good times, something tragic about it. So I think there's something there, because the world is infested with evil. You realize that not everything, where that your child has to be intelligent, and if they're not intelligent, they're gonna suffer more because it's forced into that. And it's sad that naive, ignorant love is so threatened, and or told that it's threatened, but it needs to be told that it's threatened, if you ask me, because I think it's better to know what's going to come, what's going to happen, so you can have more of a choice than instead of buying into something that you might not even like, or going forward to something that you can't even see. You go in, you take risks, you're gambling, which one day you might find is going to cost you your life, because you didn't have any say over your life. You let others create you. You have trusted the process of creation from others, not the process of creation from self. And if you teach them to have the process of creation themselves, at least they get to decide whether or not they're going to live or die, if they're going to be mortal or immortal. Right? So, and not someone else is going to decide whether they're mortal or immortal. Is it not a format? Who decides whether a character lives or dies in fiction, and how much that character is their life? Is it really their life? I think if it really is your life, then it really tells you how sad your real life is, and that you're drifting into fiction. Because that fiction is the best damn thing to you, because the non-fictional world has probably been cruel to you, sadly. And I can believe it. I think a lot of people do not either know how to get out of the group, or find the right people. It's such a colorful world, such a shiny, bright world that is too beautiful, too seductive, still alluring. Sometimes maybe you figure out something that's the balance, the rude awakening, something so disgusting it shakes you into seeing shit clear, not being seduced or glamored, right? Jedi mind tricked, stuff like that. It's love for yourself, because not everybody's going to, especially when there's even a motive in me and a motive in everybody on earth, where there's that side that says, if I don't put a spell on this person, but don't make this person fall in love with me, if I'm not the captain of the love, or I don't figure out a rule this, then they will never freely love me. Right? How can anyone freely love when there's so many cocktails trying to steal hearts with hearts? Right? Minds I can't even see. That's why my kid self said and feared that if I ever entered my dream career before I was in a relationship, then I would be cursed for life and I would never be in a relationship. I'd be fucked. That's what I thought. And I dreaded that. I remember, not in my head even, these two worlds not coexisting without certain measurements, that and sacrifices that had to be made that would get me fired and never hired again out of my own damn career, which, if you think about it, because I have to figure out how to prioritize family, right? So it balances that stuff where there's so many dictators, corporate leaders that shouldn't be corporate leaders. People want to bring stuff to life. I want them to do it because they want to do it, and that because they can, if they choose to. Not because I want them to do it. Because if I do that, then I feel like I'm no better than these dictators, and then I'll feel myself transform into this obsessive puzzle maker that's going to make the best damn universe on Earth in fiction, because it's the entertainment industry, it's not, right? So on the outside of the real world, which would be the death of my career, my dream career, right, would put myself in a position to realize that how can any president on Earth ever truly help the world and daring to ask questions of position, like if that's supposed to be the biggest and most important role that you could possibly achieve inside your government, but yet it somehow doesn't create immortality, it somehow stalemates things at best. It seems to me like something is reasonably wrong and not seen by many, or the fear of revealing that they even dare to be able to see, is scary in itself because of being outnumbered, right? And thinking, wow, I might get killed for this discovery, right? Or worse, imprisoned and molested and molded into, I don't know, Clayface. It's some shit and against your will, and you didn't even want to do it, right? And it's just like you just didn't know any other path, you didn't know any other way. It's intelligence. Everything's become, it has. I think the video game industry is such a psychological thing, and if you look at how many guys and girls, I do see less girls doing this, but a lot of guys that take more advantage of girls with the mind, and then also girls that do it to guys. But girls don't need the video game industry to do that, where I think some guys, they only find it in that trait, right? So why they do that? Because I think, so it's, when they want to get involved, it's a demand on intelligence. That's probably the best thing about the video game industry. Why, probably so many people hated Xbox, and why I did see Xbox to be less fun at times over something like PlayStation, but I also seen Xbox to be more educational than PlayStation. That's the thing. So, and where that came in, back and forth, I noticed the drug. I think what really got me hooked was achievements, and I had, the dread of losing them. What was created? What happened? The dread of losing libraries. It's a good thing. Like, my life is not over if my, a quarter to a million gamer score, 250,000 something gamer score disappear. what that was, right? Sometimes I go back to what other people had said, that they wish that they could turn their gamer score, sometimes trade it in for $1 a gamer point, and if it's legit, so a multi-trillion-dollar company wouldn't have to pay me much because I didn't make $1 million off my gamer score. I would have only made $250,000, right, off my gamer score. Unlike others who have $1 million, would be getting a lot more than me that actually put the work in, not those that hacked and modded that you'd have to sort out the liars, right? So, like, who actually put it in? Yeah, what achievements actually went through? Because I played the game where, I think it was on PlayStation. The trophies were popping, saying I won a chess match. I didn't win that chess match. Oh, shit. I don't know what it was talking about. It's like fucking glitched. Giving me achievements that I didn't even achieve. So, which is true. So it's, and stuff like that. I actually lost constantly in chess. So I get my ass kicked by the computer. But, so it's, trying to, and they're rewarding me for losing, saying I won. What did I win? What did I win? What do I want? Whether I win or lose? A wife. Love. Immortal love would be nice. Something that seems unreasonable and impossible sometimes. Like that daring, very daring thing to even say. What do you want? What does anybody want in this world? What do they really want? Why do we think we need to have, to flirt or whatever the word is with 100 million different people? Because you're single, concerned, and, is that what it is? I'm nice. And feel the tickle every now and then of something more when I interact with people, but at the same time, I don't know. They might be my queen one day. Hopefully, my only queen. I do it right, where I don't have to get married twice. I do it once, and I go down in history as one of those best guys on earth, because I think that makes me better than Steven Spielberg. That makes me better than anybody on earth that's ever been in more than one relationship, because I had achieved that part, where I've only ever been in the one. What many couldn't figure out how to do. And it was hell, by the way, to do it. Was it worth it? It would be, if that's the final result. But it wouldn't be if I failed. Then it would say I did all that for nothing. That I isolated myself. Right, or I didn't. Isn't that the thing? Like, what happens when you start falling, or humans start feeling attractive to someone that they are not supposed to? Right? I mean, that's a very valid thing. You're said not to, or even your own laws that you have helped enforce. The whole, only one, and how but realize, wait a second, that's me. But then them, they could have like 3. What am I doing if my law doesn't include or be upon them, right? So they have to also. So it becomes this narrow where it's this demand for, right, that they must also have been married too, or fail. I'd fail if I slept with a married woman even once, I would be instantly deemed a failure in that error, and once a failure, you know, I could go into a redeemer, but I never needed to become a redeemer because I never failed at that. So I failed at a lot of things, but not that, right? So I'd have to figure out if from that fun sin, if I could come back from it, right? So it's like challenging oneself from having a good time, and that good time being more powerful than any marriage on earth, I guess. It's literally the death of marriage is what it is. And right now, the life of marriage is very, very possible for me. It is very, very, very possible for me, because I haven't crossed that line. And I dare to say yes, because one day I fear that I would fall in love with and cross that line and not, and have the time of my life with someone, and then there all that hard work, everything, all that went. And at that point on, my life has changed. My view on marriage would be that it is nothing but theater at best. From that point on, that's what would happen. It changes people. A single failure changes a person. Puts them to work on redemption at best. Are trying to win afterwards. I don't, failure of being accepted is into something is kind of sometimes, I guess, reminds me of vampires. Can't get through the door without an invitation, or they have to figure out how to alchemize their way through the door. But it's at the same time, it's I think it's a difficult question how to go home, and is home safe? And if home it has all these gatekeepers, all these decisions, that home is clearly has been broken, and that am I equipped to fall in love with a broken without it breaking me? What is the trade, that one gets from any format of allowance? If it's so damn easy to fall into something, all I gotta do is talk, and then I'll just talk, no matter what, right? Whether what's going right. Magical music. What is the essence that comes through? Dare I say that I feel something from this game that goes straight to people who have worked on this game, whether I've ever met them in person, which I don't think I ever have. And if I did, I had amnesia, or some shit in the moment, but or didn't realize it. But because I don't know, possibilities, I guess. There are blind spots that maybe, but I doubt it at the same time. But maybe, I don't know. But I don't know what the right answer is. But yeah, I felt something through this. I also saw that it won. I think a lot of things, it's, like I said, it's the future. in the future, or on the future in the future. What you're on, and as if it tells you the future, what has control over who's the vision, who's the one pushing these visions. Can you see the future? Is it lying to you? Do you go for the dishonest vision, the death of being able to see the future? Or do you go where someone keeps sharing the future and knows how to keep sharing the future with you, and you are able to see the future together and go from there? Because that to me feels better than the other one. I would much rather let it be able to keep seeing the future with someone who also provides seeing the future, that also sees the future, the same future, right? So it's, I don't know. We'll just say there's a feeling that as years go by, I learned to fight less than to surrender and give in. It is in hope and realizing the key factor, what makes it safe, what secures it, is seeing the future. And trying not to get that stolen from me, because that's what happened when something showed me, I saw something, I connected at an unrealistic level with something, and it showed me the future, and it was correct, and it was correct again, and it was correct again, and then it wasn't. And it showed me, and it lied to me, and then instantly I was like, that's unforgivable. I walked away, because that's the very thing I said. Like, if once it lies, it always lies. Or even when it's telling the truth, it's a design. So it's, it's something when you realize that something happened, it's over the power of it. So it's, right, so it's, we'll find out. I seen this game winning before it happened. I felt things, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, I don't have any visions, just hope, I guess. Last year I went to Game Awards and almost missed an after party, and ended up going to some kind of after party, and just by communicating with strangers, and but then realizing there's an after party, and thinking, is that where I need to be? Is that where I'm wanted? Is that where I belong? It doesn't matter, because I didn't go. I didn't get the invitation. I didn't know how to go through. I could figure out this magical back door for manipulators, and I also didn't get an invitation. So either of those two things. So, I went back to hell, is what I call it. So there are lesser format of hell. There's worse hells, right? A hell that's more manageable, that I'm more familiar with. So, because I'm getting older and older, and I know that a lot of old people know how to be homeless. For an extra layer homeless, I have been, and I am in a way. I have an address, but I pay for rent, but I still am in a way, but homeless. But at that level, I would fall asleep, and one day just pray to be killed. I think I would eventually give up. Go back to because it's not what I want. you know, I failed and failed and failed and failed. And it's the point. I've been there. I know what it's like to be suicidal. Let's put it that way. You know, which you know, you know, was it for attention? Or I think a lot of it was misunderstood. Most of it was misunderstood for the times, and not seeing the future of what it was. Because if I can't see, then it's easier to slip into that, right? It's the illusion of hope isn't good enough for me. It's not good enough. It's the truth of the future that doesn't lie. The most honest future is more important than any illusionary hope, because hope isn't going to cut it for someone like me. I will still find a way for toxicity to bleed in. So it's, it's the demand for truth. True love and not of all. That will sabotage many, many relationships before they're even created. But for a damn good reason, for a damn good cause. The moment that I betray me, my kid self, is the moment that I will be too far gone. I don't think I'd come back. I would be a completely different person. A different character, a different person. I might survive it. Well, I would survive it. A new person. The new me would survive it. The more toxic me, the death of marriage me, version of me, find your V-Day plan. What makes you happy in life? I didn't watch, this video that said that a prank that they got beat up. At first, I didn't watch it because it felt like it wasn't very funny. Like, it felt toxic, like asking for trouble. Like a prank that, one day might, you might regret that actually ends up happening, right? And the wolf was the little boy who cried wolf story, right? So it's, and I was like, other videos, I liked their other videos, and then I ended up watching it, and I still felt toxic. She lacked her charm. I didn't like what she was doing. So I'm talking about Jenna. I saw her art, and particularly how she alchemized, hate speech, and turned it into fucking musical, which was, I thought, that right. So looking at stuff like that, but then seeing some of the other stuff that she does, to be more concerning at times. I'm not really. I guess I could try to be for it, but I'm genuinely not. You see what I'm saying? I'm not. I don't like the fake. I got my ass kicked, but it's like I'm employing myself to like it because I genuinely don't. Because what if it actually happened? I don't know. See what I'm saying? It's serious shit. But I don't know. you put your life into something, YouTube, and then fiction in a movie, it's a lot easier for people to know that it's fiction in a movie. I mean, the viewer's going to know because it's on a screen. But when it's not on a screen, the mafia lovers, then what? See what I'm saying? It's fucked up. It's very concerning, but also empowering because you can't see. You know, you don't know if it's a prank or it's not, and it's a video that may never see the light of day. Or see what I'm saying? It's not really a really good. It's a job. Is what that type of image is. Doing something like that is only employing yourself, and you're going to take on a challenge for sure, like doing something like that. In other words, I guess I'm saying I don't like it. Some part, and then I ended up watching it anyway, and I was right before I even watched it. It lost its magic. That didn't have any of the magic. Like a lot of it, I don't know, like something about it, right? How something so magical from other, associated with other videos, could end up going to be not so magical, right? In a good way. I mean, there is toxic magic. I mean, you can use supernatural influence for evil, unfortunately. So it's, if that's the allurement, but you have to be careful what the fuck you're going for attraction cards, That's why there's, and getting closer, why I let myself go out there and say, because I'm getting better at doing this, that I can see myself doing a horror movie in the future, but I can't see what horror movies I'm going to do, because I can't yet, right? But I can see that I'm daring that I can one day, because I'm not going to go do a horror movie that if they're using actual guns, or there's some or the safety protocol is not safe at all, and all this other shit. I don't care. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry, but whatever the hell it is, I'm going to walk away, because I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to associate with that, or just see a bad omen about it. So, but, and I accept that I look like a good clown. Do I want to attract clowns? Not really, I guess. I don't know, for my job, maybe. Gotta deal with clowns. They're loud. They wear the makeup. They're a clown. They're not hiding. So yeah, the answer is yes. They're being honest. I can deal with that. Will I be the clown? With my TikTok videos? Does I look like a good clown? A lot of my shit. Is that what I become associated with? What have I done to myself? If it gets me paid, then maybe I can make a sacrifice. Play a killer clown, or better yet, demonic. Because, I don't know, in the movies, it's probably better to do something paranormal or supernatural with me. Psychedelic. Because, then people could attack me and say I'm weird. then, because if I play a normal, realistic killer, you know, or some shit, then I have to deal with, you know, I don't know. So maybe one day my fingerprints are transitioned over to something, and next thing I know, I'm getting arrested for not doing a movie that I was doing a movie, but yet I'm over somewhere else, apparently, where I'm not, you know, and how to deal with that. That's the thing. Like, I don't trust it. The justice system. I don't get it. You know, is it what's going on here? People getting accused of things, and apparently, I could have sworn that people said, you know, for certain people, and next thing you know, you hear this, they're not. So, you know, what's the deciding factor? What's real? Does it even matter if it's real? That's the thing. Like, it starts to feel like, you know, I don't know. That's the question. I think, you know, maybe, you know, someone said to me, you know, why Billie Eilish so the Billie Eilish thing? That's how Billie Eilish is so famous. She knows how to make people like her. What they said. That was their explanation. I made them like me by helping the homeless person on the street. As that person that actually walked into my life in that moment. Only did it because I said, no, I will not buy you alcohol, but pick something off the shelf. I'll help you get something to eat. And despite that person is like, I want alcohol. And they're like, you know, I'm not buying you alcohol. You know, and I'm not giving you money. But I will buy you food. I said to the homeless person, and I did. So come at 7-Eleven, they be open 24/7. Here, let's go. I'll be right back. I might make this string disappear. Because you don't want to wait for human me to come back out of the bathroom, so for what I should be sharing that I'm about to do. But I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna go take a shit. Okay? Love me, hate me. I will return and actually play a game eventually tonight.